on this upper level of the battlements here. Just thought you should catch it. My personal opinion. Headed back down and to the war table. Once again, we're on the final path here, headed to start the Trespasser DLC, which I believe involves a bit of a time jump. We have a few of our milestone saved games set along the way, just in case, but really we've accomplished everything I was hoping to accomplish here in completing the main quest, and most of the companion quests, I do believe. Pardon me, wrangling my throat into some form of cooperation. Let's head this way. Josephine, how lovely to see you there in the sun rays. I believe I said last session that we would probably be back the next day and finish this all off. I did look it up to remind myself, and the Trespasser DLC seems to be much longer than I'm giving it credit for. So I'm hoping that we can continue to chip away at it here, but we may not be able to blow through it all just today. Hello there in the chat. Good to see you guys. Good morning, indeed. So, I apologize for lying to you during the last session. We'll see where we can get. I have got to wake up my vocal cords here, pardon me. It's been one of those slow mornings. Alright. Attend the Exalted Council. This is a little bit of a melancholy moment.
Past the seas?
No.
I think we have enough to worry about on this continent.
Of course, but...
Yeah. I'm with you there, Liliana. Alright, beginning the Exalted Council will lock off all other areas and plots and jump to 944 Dragon. 2 years after the death of Corypheus. There is no going back from this point. To sum up, with Corypheus dead and the threat of Fey drifts and demons waning, both Orlais and Ferelden have begun to raise questions about the future of the Inquisition. Divine Victoria has promised to shield the Inquisition from political matters for as long as possible. Eventually she plans to call the Exalted Council, a chance to determine the role and possibly the fate of the Inquisition. All right. Let's do it. The Exalted Council will be held at the Winter Palace outside Halam-Shirol. Thanks to Divine Victoria's negotiation with the ambassadors, we are ready to depart at your convenience. Venture forth. Alright, so we're jumping ahead by 2 years here. We'll see where all of our companions and our organization end. I see the question in the chat there. What time is it? Well, that's a very subjective response I can give you, but for me, it's roughly 10:50. 10:48 if you're specific. Wait, are you specific? That's quite an entrance we're making. All right. My taste for horse armor has grown in the last 2 years.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden.
His face.
Who would see us disbanded
Oh
entirely.
no. Ah. Oh, my personal freedoms. Oh. So Orlais just wants a piece of Cullen's sweet, sweet sweetmeats. Ferelden wants us gone, seemingly, at this point in the timeline. We have served our purpose, saved their lives, filled their meager bellies, and now they want us gone.
Inquisitor, it has been too long.
Got that old
I hope
rash
the Veils
acting
have
up.
been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Oh, that's lovely of you to do. Thank you for that.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, your worship. The Inquisition
please.
forces were
It's just
of great
worship.
help tending the sick. The Orlesian soldiers at Suladin Keep, somewhat less so. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With
That's
respect,
personal opinion.
That's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria is proving to be a woman that few dare to disagree with. She has already won concessions for the Inquisition. You are fortunate to have her support.
No sense messing up her cover here. Let's find her.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, your worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe
Oh,
he is
will he
currently
just?
speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
That's why I'm here, yes. I can't wait.
The Imperium
Tell me more.
sent an ambassador?
Yes, your worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. He took a great risk coming to help us, and deserved better treatment.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little
I can't wait
patience
to see
for those
that.
who cannot admit they were wrong, your worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apologies somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
I'm guessing it's gonna be like, oh. That's it. We don't really need an audience for that. It's quite short.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand
Varric.
he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier.
Oh, that's nice to
Enjoy
hear.
time with them while
Being
you
a little
can.
more honest these days.
I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Oh, thank you for your time. Mother Giselle, we began this journey with you. Here we are to end it. Can I slap you on the back? Gently? Is that Y? Right button? Right button and Y? Damn it all.
Thank you, Mother
Okay.
Giselle.
Your
Well,
worship,
your back is going to go
a
unslapped.
final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
It's interesting that it's such a binary choice. we're either not going anywhere or, oh yeah, I'm ready to pack it up. I'm not really sure myself at this point. Like, honestly, or obviously, rather, we've sealed the rift, we've beaten Corypheus, or more accurately, the slippery, slippery stairs have beaten Corypheus on our behalf. And that's all well and good, but having an organization around that's devoted to helping the little people and providing food and services and building bridges and generally helping the political situation between nations, it's like, I don't see a reason for that to stop, necessarily. That may be a bit power-mad of me, but... So if they're leaving it to such a black-and-white choice, I'd probably say, I guess we're not going anywhere, but I do recall my first time through having sort of a nice, that's a good way to end it. I want to be benevolent leader, let's say, and give up my power. Our work is done. I won't create a big stink on the way out the door. So I'm fine going that route with it too, genuinely. That's my thought process. So to Mother Giselle, I'll probably just say, we're not going anywhere.
The Inquisition still has work to do. We can't let someone's fear push us into disbanding.
But I hope that's
Then I
not
wish
a
you luck
permanent
in
choice.
the negotiations to come.
Do pardon my
watch over
sipping.
you, Inquisitor. I will not
Ew,
keep you
gross.
any longer.
Ayo, I heard beard hairs for a second. Oh. I'm picturing it. I'm picturing the beard. Alright, let's get this started. Friends? Neighbors? Varric Tethras? I didn't want to say lovers in front of everybody, so I singled you out by name. Who am I trying to hide it from? Lovers? Get over here, Varric. Alright, welcome back to the Winter Palace. I wonder if we have any Hala statues left from last time we were sneaking around in here, breaking things and stabbing folks. Stabbing folks, that was a good day. Let's check around. Okay. So, optional catch up with old friends. That is decidedly not optional to me. That's what we're here for. And I'm guessing all of these book entries that you can find here are also probably updated and provide lore for the last 2 years, so let's make sure we catch all of that. Grand Enchanter Lothair Harduin was the first leader of the Circle of Magi when it was founded in 120 Divine. After Harduin distinguished himself in battle during the Second Blight, Emperor Dracon himself endorsed him for the position. From all accounts, the Grand Enchanter performed admirably, but some speculate Harduin was a second choice, that Dracon had another mage with connections to Inquisitor Ameridin in mind for the job. Tellingly, these debates are based on a half-finished letter to an army captain and the guest list of a party where Ameridin and the Emperor were in attendance. If any proof ever existed, it is likely dust. The idea's merits should be treated as such, dust only, for scholarship's sake. So, not necessarily lore and history from the last 2 years, but also something new about this Inquisitor Ameridin. I think that will continue to be a theme.
Closer look.
I've found expensive dog treats. Bone-shaped dog treats baked in a mold. Fancy scroll work and happy-looking dogs adorn the sides. Smells faintly of ham and excess. Gonna have to try one of those later. Maybe when I meet up with Dorian, he'll split one with me. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't go in any doors or speak to those ambassadors before I have a chance to catch up with all of our dear friends. Let's see if we can find anybody scattered around here. I'm wearing my Sunday best again, it seems. Hey, Josephine, do you have any brillantine? I don't really know what it is exactly. No? Any dime cigars?
It's been
Okay,
quite a
we're
day
moving
so
along
far,
then.
has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the
Do you
council
even
becomes
have to ask?
inescapable.
Of course. Of course I'll walk
The
with you,
palace is the
Josephine.
most accommodating. We are, after all, here at
Hey,
their
who's this guy?
insistence. But the ministers may...
Bumping
No
shoulders.
more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Oh, is that what it's for? Well, hey. In that case, let me put on some mascara real quick. Hold on.
Is this in your daily notes? 3 to 4 o'clock. Idle chat with the Inquisitor.
Of course
It is,
not.
isn't it?
Not precisely.
It totally is.
The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In
A
all the
little
years you worked
soiree.
in LA, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
Well, let's not betray you. I would love that.
Thank you for thinking of me. I'd be delighted to attend.
Splendid.
What should I
will
wear?
arrange things at once.
Just anything? Any old thing?
The past years have been so busy.
Something
We
lacy?
have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Okay. I guess we're on to the evening.
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me,
Yeah,
did
that
you
would help.
enjoy the performance?
Oh, it was visual and stunning.
What I really enjoyed was seeing you put your duties aside for a change.
I truly did. Thank you for coming. It's been too long since I just spent an evening doing... nothing.
Here's to nothing. May it happen to us more often in the future.
More and more.
Oh, look! The encore signal!
Bring out the puppets!
I do hope you recovered from your night at the opera. Any ear-ringing should go away in a day or two.
Oh, that's good to hear. So nice to spend an evening with you, Josephine. Alright, what do we have over here? Cole and the last few years. Inquisitor, your suggestion regarding the young man Cole was excellent. He displays an uncanny ability to locate missing people. When hostile forces held our agents and we feared that they would be killed if we approached, Cole was able to reach them without being detected. While he has been less useful overall at extracting intelligence, I have learned to trust his instincts about whether a target is trustworthy or malicious. Per your request, I have limited his assistance to rescue operations or attacks on clearly hostile forces. Whatever magic lives in the young man's mind, it would be poorly served by the less pleasant necessities of our work. Thank you for putting it that way. His remarks about my family, while not germane to the mission at hand, were also greatly appreciated. Yours, Charter. Josephine and the last few years. Dear Inquisitor Adar, Commander Cullen has reviewed the soldiers. I have written and received so many letters from the Orlesian court. Our birds practically blot out the sun. Yes, the plan is finally coming together. We are as prepared for this exalted council as we will ever be. I know this past year has been full of normal meetings. Goodness knows I have attended many myself, but this one will truly test the alliances and friendships we have worked so hard to build. If I may offer you any advice, Inquisitor, it is this. Keep a ready smile, and remember we have their attention because we are to be reckoned with. Respectfully yours, Ambassador Montilier. Liliana. Inquisitor, thank you so much for your kind inquiries. I am doing very well, although I have been quite busy. Selecting new staff for my apartments at the Grand Cathedral has taken me so much longer than expected, and if you wouldn't mind, I would like to borrow Scout Harding for a few weeks to help me find more nugs. Well, get in line. Scout Harding is in high demand these days. I cannot possibly hire anyone to a permanent position without first observing them in a room full of baby nugs. Yes, and all the litters I have on hand are nearly full grown. In any case, I will see you soon at Halam Shiral. Until then, Liliana. I cannot wait to catch up with her. She has been off divining, as we did give her our blessing. A crumpled silk napkin with some words inked in the corner. They are so smudged by wine stains, the only ones still readable are, "There once was a man from Hossberg." What could that rhyme with? Well, we're not going to think about it too much. Okay. Bye, Josephine. I love you. Down the stairs. Let's try up on the other side. If not underneath as well. Peekaboo. Bard. Just like I was from law school. Wait, Disbard? I don't know. I don't know what you want to be. You want to be Bard, I think. So we're good. Ah, stop crying. It's gonna be okay. There will be other opportunities to eat muffins. I know you didn't get the flavor you wanted. Now we're on to something. Huh, another bone. Okay. More expensive dog treats. Still smelling faintly of ham. I completely forget what those are tied to. That's interesting. Oh, we have a chapter 10. It must be new. One moment. Let me wet my whistle here. All right. I, too, want a room full of baby nugs. That sounds fantastic. Here we go. Diving in. Hard in Hightown, Chapter 10. Donin Branekovic had been pursuing the killer of Magistrate Dunwald without food or rest, and so far all he had was the seal of an imaginary group, a wounded arm, and a package that contained a rusted Tevinter shortsword, and that is not a euphemism. He was past exhaustion, and every breath made his head throb like he'd had too much to drink. Oh, he was getting too old for this shit. He couldn't go to the barracks with a knife wound he'd picked up off duty. If the captain caught him, and she would, he'd be thrown out of the guard for sure. That left one option. The Chantry Clinic turned no one away, but it usually didn't have to. The presence of 3 circle healers was more than enough to frighten most decent folk into deciding to wait and see if they got better on their own. Aside from a few drunken beggars snoring in the beds, the clinic was quiet. The healer didn't ask his name and tended the wound with only a disapproving frown. In a few breaths his arm was as good as ever. Pity magic wouldn't mend his coat sleeve. As he walked through the nave toward the exit, my navel, he heard a voice. "Guardsman, I was just about to look for you with my moist, moist eyes." Oh, maybe it's a woman's voice. I'm sorry. The deep black gown she wore only made her eyes more otherworldly. A scent like lilacs filled the air around her. She may have been dressed in mourning garb, but she was dressed to kill. Donin bowed. "Lady Mariel." There's the deep, saucy voice. There's where I should have used it. "We should talk. I may have a lead for you," she smokily replied. And thus Chapter 11 begins. Alright, seemingly no one to talk to up here. We got our dog treats, though. That's the important thing. I guess I can't go this way this time. That's where we went into the Grand Ball back in the day. The big Grand Ball of Halam Shiral, as they call it. Alright, hey Varric. How's it going, my friend? Oh, the years have been so kind to you.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor!
Oh, no, just in time.
Ass. Am I ever glad to see you?
I'm glad to see you, Varric. I mean, wait, no, I got confused. Am I interrupting?
And the Inquisitor comes to the rescue once again.
Is that what you call it?
This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount
Provisional Viscount.
of Kirkwall.
Oh, provisional. I got it. Okay.
And what are you doing now?
I have resumed my post as seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now?
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
Varric
it
moving
turns
up in
out
the world.
you fund
See you
enough
guys later. I'm so
construction
sorry to hear
efforts
of
in
the
city
flat
state.
there. I
They'll
hope
do
everything
the
goes all
worst
right.
job they can think
And
of.
thank you for stopping by. So he's funded reconstruction efforts in the city of Kirkwall. Oh, Varric, you kind-hearted man. And generous. Yeah, I approve.
That's fantastic. You'll make an excellent Viscount.
It's about time
I
someone
think the
competent
nobility
was in
figured,
charge.
After Dumar and Perrin, what's the worst that could happen if we put the dwarf in charge? They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official
Ooh,
recognition
what is
of
it?
your title and holdings in Kirkwall.
I
Congratulations.
have holdings?
You're a countess now.
You can't actually do
pinky
that
out.
without-
Too late. Already did it. Also, your mercenary company, the Valokas. They work for Kirkwall now. I just know my guard captain will love the Shokrakar.
Guard Captain Aveline has been to my office 11 times in the last week to complain.
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
Oh, it's hard being a Viscount. It's all political juggling from now on. Ah, that's lovely. Thank you.
What brought all this on? I'm pretty sure it's not Give Your Friends Lavish Titles Day.
Oh, what kind of Viscount would I be if I didn't abuse my position to give shit to my friends? I've got traditions to
Okay,
uphold.
sure.
Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the
I can be a
city.
part of that.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony. It
This
It's
is
just
the
symbolic
ceremony.
Anyway.
controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
Can I try it? Yeah. Oh, I probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't take their only way to defend the harbor with their chain nets.
You can't give me the actual key that closes Kirkwall's harbor. That's absurd.
Finally, someone with sense.
I don't know how this
I don't mean to
council
disparage
thing is
his
going to
plan.
end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked
All right.
Grace before I go
Responsibility
back.
accepted. I'll try not to let you
Wouldn't
down,
miss
buddy.
it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
If you need a harbor access, just give me a call. I'll try to be there as quick as I can with the key.
I'll be here if you need me.
Oh, you always are. All right. So that way looks like the way to the ambassadors. Let's see who this is. Real quick. Colin! How's it going, buddy?
You
And
there.
I see you have a
It was
friend.
dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You...
Can I join
found
this
a dog?
gang? This looks like
They
fun.
don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owners tired of the novelty.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
Never.
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
Hard not to.
You could take him to Ferelden sometime. He should know where he came from.
I did promise my sister a visit. She might try to spoil you. Remember who you
Hey, I
report
found
to.
some dog treats, by the way. Is this a good opportunity to mention that I found some
The
expensive
Inquisition will
dog
change
treats
after
that
this.
smell faintly of
I'm not
ham?
sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Liliana, Josephine, will have my support in whatever form you require.
I can't imagine the Inquisition without you.
I am honored, and likewise, Inquisitor. You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find overpriced Orlesian dog treats before we go.
Now we're talking. Speaking of overpriced Orlesian dog treats, Colin, before I leave you, hold out your hand. Ah, looks like there's a little basket here to place them, so I should have two. That's one. That's two. Increases my constitution. Lovely. That must be my health bar, effectively. Look out for more of those. A reminder. While the gazebo is available for festive occasions, deposits are non-refundable in cases of flood, fire, or imperial whim. Book accordingly. Alright, someone else is in there near the fountain. However, I'm going to go the other way. We'll catch up with them before we hit up the ambassadors. Quick check for dog treats in this corner. Alright. Let's see who's on the other side. I want to make sure we don't miss anybody. This cravat is slightly the worse for wear and tear. However, the stitching is remarkably fine, and the gold of the cloth has a subtly expensive shimmer when it catches the light. Okay, is somebody missing a worn cravat of expensive nature? No, worn, not warm. What were you... How could you... Skin like gauze, across the sky I sigh and fall in evening's lakes, the pools of which deep as your eyes, and eyes of which pierce like wakes, drakes, heartaches, cakes. Maker, I hope my lady's patient. Cute. Cute bit. There's some more. Sorry, gentlemen. I'm taking your femur. Alright, who's over here? Merryden? Good to see you. Or hear you. Glad that she got to get out of the tavern for a change there. Ah. Heart in Hightown, Chapter 12. We're missing one. We'll have to look around. They say you can buy anything in the Lowtown Bazaar. It's mostly true. On the right day, you can find vendors hawking spices from Seheran, the legacies of the unknown dwarven paragons, maps to hidden fortresses in the Donarchs, and the crown jewels of Antiva, and no bookstore in Thedas pebbles more wild stories than Lowtown. Donin Brnokovic made a point of greeting each shopkeeper as he passed, so that the continual chant of "Guardsman" reached the ears of the two large men shadowing him since he'd left Lady Mariel in Hightown. The address she'd given him in Chapter 11 that we missed led him to a warehouse in the Foundry District, a section of the city populated only by rusted metal spikes and vagrants. Ugh, I'll take the spikes, please. Donin knocked on the door. An immaculately dressed butler greeted him. Yes, he said, and gestured for him to enter. Guardsman Brnokovic, Messer Wagner has been expecting you. Donin followed him through a labyrinth of warehouse offices to a back room richly appointed with silk carpets and tapestries, depicting the execution of Andraste. Two heavy armchairs, upholstered in velvet, occupied the center of the room. In one of them sat a smug, red-haired man, dressed entirely in blinding white samite. The other chair was empty. Suspiciously so. Guardsman, please sit. The gentleman spoke with a heavy Starkhaven accent, which... Starkhaven? Is that supposed to be like... maybe German, based off the surname? I'm not sure. I suppose you would be Messer Wagner, Donin asked. Ah, jawohl, I am a procurer of antiquities. Sarah Brnokovic, as I'm sure the Lady Donvold explained. Wagner carefully lit a pipe made of carved bloodstone and inhaled. Ooh. But we are both men of business, Guardsman. You're soon to retire, are you not? Yes, allow me to present you with an opportunity. Donin turned a critical tapestry of Andraste's pyre. I'm listening. Wagner watched him through a growing veil of smoke. Do you know what Seamus Dunvold had in his possession, Guardsman? What made the poor man worth killing? Oh, do tell. The sword of Hessarion. Wagner leaned forward, studying him closely. The very blade which pierced Andraste's heart. I'm stooping in character here. You can't see it, but I've begun to stoop too low. Donin gave him a flat stare. If I believed that were even possible, I'd think that blade would be worth a lot of coin. Most would look at it and see a rusted piece of scrap. It is no longer the jeweled blade of an Archon, but to the right buyer, Guardsman, the sword is worth an empire's ransom, and I know such buyers. Wagner smiled. It is here in Kirkwall, and if you help me find it, I can make you a very rich man. I'm now Edna mode from The Incredibles. It's slowly shifted, and I'm fully Edna mode now. What a lovely chapter. Thanks, Varric. Thrilling stuff.
And what did they need?
Let me go back around this way. I don't want to miss anyone in our talking here. Inside. In fact, hey, is that Tom Rainier that I spy?
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
Oh, you know I'd be here to make fun of your knife work. Tom, needs some more practice, buddy.
I gave you my word we would
So
talk,
good to see you.
and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away.
Only if you let me cuddle
After
you.
the betrayal and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
Are you glad you at least tried to apologize?
It's hard to say. I go back and forth most days. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back. Though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
Can I see one of those?
Your aim is atrocious. I'm embarrassed for you.
Oh no, that's
You
not
can
what
do
I meant to
better.
say. Yikes. I hope he took that as slightly playful and not just
Inquisitor.
devastating. Those were weird options I ended up picking. Blackwall and the last few years. I hope this letter finds you well. I apologize for my prolonged absence and the careful landscaping of my beard. It's making everyone else look bad. I have traced the whereabouts of one more of my former company, and I am writing to you from Kirkwall, where he now resides. I knew him as Private Nicholas Lorry. Didn't go out much, didn't like to talk to people, quite private. He goes by Klaus now. Unlike so many of the men I betrayed, Klaus found a way to put his life together without turning to crime. It doesn't in any way lessen the horror of what I did, but it was comforting to see at least one life not completely ruined by my actions. Klaus is married to a lovely lady. They run a small bakery and it smells delicious. It didn't take him long for recognition to dawn, and then I had 2 mince pies lobbed at my head. Pies that were fresh from the oven, mind you. It was a good thing I ducked. Lava hot. A small child behind me had his face melted. Anyway, I made my apologies. Even after months of searching and making reparations, it was still hard. To his credit, Klaus allowed me to talk, and we ended the visit with ales at the Hanged Man. I should return within the month. Thank you for allowing me this time, Inquisitor. Oh, your time is your own, Tom. We love you. There's always room for you out in the stable with Lord Nugga Cornelius. Everything cool here? No, yeah, none of my business, really. Just send up a flare if maybe someone's getting a bit handsy. Oh, I like this. I think this is finally that shop where you can buy, like, everything for not too much. So it's like, yeah, you're at the end of the game. Craft anything you wanted to craft. Here's all the materials for it. So this is a great little shop. They may have some schematics, too. We should check around. Also a nice little crafting station there. A pair of small wooden paddles with leather grips, used for some manner of leisure sport. Yeah, that's believable. These are sex paddles. I mean, leisure sports paddles. Yeah, I see it now. I misread the label. Turn in research. Okay. So we can craft armor, we can modify armor. I think these are all interactable. But not pick-upable. This, however, yummy. Alright, so there's someone out on the balcony here, seemingly. Cassandra? What's this? Lovely. Not sure if there's something specific I'm supposed to be pointing out, but nice view. Chapter 13. Well, we're still missing 11, but okay, here we go again. In the Lowtown Bazaar, Donin paused to pay a little elven girl to play courier for him before making the long climb back uphill to Hightown. A careful glance told him the scar-faced Ander and the tattooed Hessind were still tailing him. Donin was certain they'd love the Viscount's keep. He passed beneath the stone gaze of the cormorant statues flanking the gates, and nodded to the guards on his way to the barracks. No one noticed his ragged, bloody clothing, which disappointed him as much as he benefited from it. Recruits these days, always slacking off, not noticing the clear signs of most desperate murder. Donnan bypassed the captain's office and went looking for Jevlon. By now the kid ought to be rested up, and Donnan suspected he would need backup if his large, suspicious shadows decided to pick a fight. But Jevlon's bunk was empty. Donnan noted blood spatter on the bedding and a scent like lilacs. Someone had one of those patented lilac-scented bloody noses here, he thought to himself. All of his gear was missing. In the center of the bunk was a note. "Bring the blade to the Keys tonight at midnight, or the boy dies." It was signed with a wax seal, 6 crossed swords. All right, let's catch up with Cassandra. I guess I walked right past that. Oh, hello there. Welcome, welcome. Ahoy. One hoy. Storms of Temptation. This tattered novel bills itself as a, quote, sweeping romance on the 8 seas by Denel Mithril. The cover shows a dark-skinned elf with long platinum hair hanging by one hand from the mast of his ship, a dagger in his teeth. A woman in an elaborate mask, low-cut dress, and almost as much hair as the elf, gasps up from the base of the mast. The elf is glaring at a tanned and chiseled human pirate, grinning as his vessel pulls alongside the elf's ship. For the first elven captain in the Antivan Navy, Keel Zebulon's inaugural assignment was a routine trading mission down to the Wycombe, or down to Wycombe. Little did he know that the fiery amethyst Coron, a passenger he picked up in the free marches, was heir to an enormous fortune, a fortune Ravani pirate Prince El Rado Hurakan would do anything to get his hands on. Unable to resist Amethyst's pleas for help, Keel found himself racing to get her back to Valroyo, even as the voracious Huracan pursued them, and their passions ensured the 8 seas would never be the same. They're steamier now than they once were. And there is a note scribbled on the inside cover in dainty handwriting. If found, please return to Lady Yvette Montilier. Josephine's sister. I see what kind of literature you're into now, and I approve.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
You don't seem happy to see me, Cassandra.
Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're
Yes,
here.
I felt that. And here I am. Should I go? I'll just be straightforward.
It seems serious.
It's not about me. It's about you.
Do I have bone cancer? Do you know something
Maybe you
I
should
don't?
Sit.
Is that why
I can
all the
stand.
bones I'm finding, are these my
Maybe
bones?
I should sit. Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
Okay. Again, do you know something I don't
Maybe
know?
I should leave and come back. I think I missed the beginning.
I'm talking about marriage.
Marriage?
Well, I'm flattered, but
I can't imagine who it is.
do we really have the
Nathan
time?
knows you've kept it secret, but if marriage is... You're not proposing to anyone. I am going
Who
to
told you that I
kill
was?
Varric. Why do I
Of
believe
course.
everything he says? Why?
He said I was going to propose?
He mentioned a proposal. I suppose I filled in the blanks. Or he did this on purpose. That dwarf gets entirely too much joy from my discomfort.
Oh, I think it's the latter.
You're adorable.
There are far worse things to be. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. but only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come.
Now that I'm caught up, I dearly appreciate it. And your concern, and your excitement for the big day. Always a pleasure, Cassandra.
How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
I love her armor, too. I don't know if that's, like, just what we had her in, or if they change it for this ending sequence or not, but it's amazing. Varric and Blackwall still looked their normal selves. Alright, so that's the weapon creation thing. Here's potion creation. Little apothecary shop. Chapter 17. Donnan left it to his captain and a dozen of Kirkwall's finest to drag Wagner and his thugs to the stocks. The heavy air gave up and turned into sheets of rain. The ancient grey stone stairs leading up to Lowtown turned into a waterfall. Donnan slogged up the narrow passage, his boots just a-squelching with every step. He almost didn't hear the ambush coming over all the squelch. As he reached the top of the stairs, a faint rasp of steel made him throw himself aside into a vegetable seller's table. "My cabbages!" A sword swung through the air where he'd been and chimed against the rock wall. "Da-ding-dong! Da-dee-doo-doo-da-ding!" Donnan fumbled at his scabbard and just managed to catch the second blow with his sword. "Ah! I wish I'd caught it with my sword!" Oh no, he had. He had one moment as they locked blades to recognize his attacker. The younger man had shed his guard uniform and was completely naked. I mean, he was in dark leathers, and his left arm now ended in a bandaged stump. But there was no mistaking him. Jevlon? Jevlon! Where is the blade of Hessarian? Jevlon recovered from the parried blow to slash at Donnan's legs. They both came off in a tumble. He dodged back, slipping and nearly stumbling ass first down the stairs. "It was you! The inside man! You're the one who killed De Favre!" Donnan lunged at the recruit. Jevlon quickly moved to block, but Donnan's blade sliced his arm, drawing blood. "Give me the sword. I know that pirate hag gave it to you." Jevlon swung a series of hard slashes and was using misogynistic language, trying to break Donnan's guard or knock him down the stairs. In the darkness and the driving rain, the guardsman struggled to see his attacker. Still, Donnan grinned. "You left it at the key. I guess you ran off without it when the lady took your hand off. I'm rubbing it in. Not my fault you picked a fight you couldn't win." He tried to edge away from the stairs, but the rookie kept him pinned between the vegetable stall, "My cabbages!" and a fall to his death. Jevlon lunged, his blade punching through Donnan's armor just below his ribs. Is that mesquite? But the recruit slipped on the wet stone during his attack, just as Corypheus had, and stumbled into his enemy. Donnan shoved him away and over the stairs. His fall ended with a sickening crack of broken bones. "The wings are ready." Donnan drew a ragged breath and pulled Jevlon's sword from his side, trying not to slip on his own blood. The chantry was a long way off. Oh, things got serious in Chapter 17. It's like a roller coaster in here, Varric. How's it going to end? Notes on palace guests. What? I didn't hear anything. Nobody seemed to have gone really overboard and hammed it up. I don't know what you're talking about. A collection of servants' notes on the guests attending the Winter Palace. Comtesse d'Avory wants a stateroom set aside from 3 to 5 in the afternoon for her daughter's harp practice. Must have harps and windows on one side and a balcony. If she proposes a recital, offer her to the seneschal. Duke Pierpont wants to entertain Ferelden relatives. A barrel of whiskey and 3 wheels of cheese to be delivered daily to his quarters. Oh, no, just this evening, I guess. But We'll see. Ban Wharton. His bed should be made up with linens, not silks, otherwise he'll slip right out of it. Sir Litstone complains an old wound in her left leg is making itself felt. Move her to the ground floor. That way she will be closer to the ground. Okay. Lady Galette, or Galatea, a duelist, has requested a sparring partner and a suitable practice ground. I volunteer. Lord Gilderay, to be woken at 8 by a maid on even days, a page boy on odd days. Don't ask. I think maybe we should ask. With a fresh pitcher of water and 12 sprigs of lavender on a peach-colored towel. Don't ask. Carrying these items in silently without making eye contact with his lordship, placing them on the divan, clapping twice, and then leaving without a word. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Do not ask. 4 kids. All right. I'm sure it's nothing seedy. Hello, Charter.
Well met, your worship.
I read some sort of note about you, but now I forget what it was.
Well met, your worship.
A note from you to someone else? Dorian, it was good to hear from you, my friend. For months I've had only the society of Mevaris's fledgling Lucerni party, junior members of the magisterium so filled with fire and zeal, and so wildly inept at politics. May keeps a bucket of ice water on hand in case one accidentally immolates himself. Well, lest I give you the wrong impression, we are making progress, but it will take a great deal of skill to keep the Lucerni alive through the usual schedule of Minrathis scheming long enough to become a real political faction. Fortunately, they do have me. Those lucky ducks. I'm sorry to hear that politics are plaguing you as well. It must be something going around, like a pestilence or an Orlesian fashion trend, though what's the difference? Hopefully Josephine can diffuse the Ferelden outcry and persuade the Orlesians to stop circling you with a collar and leash. You know she did always love a challenge. I'll find an excuse to make a trip south soon, holding you to it. We should really catch up in person, don't you agree? Dorian. Conduct becoming the Inquisition. To all members, it has come to my attention that I must remind everyone of the type of behavior expected from us during this exalted council. It is natural to wish to hold our heads high, but remember that we are guests of the Imperial Court. It is upon us to behave with good grace, propriety, and restraint. If you are unsure of how to address someone of gentle birth, my lord or my lady will suffice. If you are fearful that you may have overstepped an unknown protocol, speak with your commanders. If they are not available, seek me out. Over-imbibing is strongly discouraged at all times. If you are steered into an argument about the Inquisition's politics, politely excuse yourself as quickly as possible. Please do not engage in these debates. If all else fails, trust sense and common courtesy to guide your actions, Lady Montilier. All right, activity in the Winter Palace. Pardon me. Charter's notes are in an encryption she developed with Leliana over the last couple of years, which I apparently can decrypt. CM's intentions seem sincere. Agent in place at party tonight where CM is attending. VP left notes at drop as promised. Servant in green livery seen leaving guest wing of palace at odd hours. Possible tryst. Madame LV's second cousin is a bard in employ of Duke WM. Lord WG plans to meet Lady GD tonight. Neither of their spouses know. Lord RW plans to meet Lady SR tonight. Their spouses do know. Lord RW's wife encouraged RW to step out with SR so she could have some peace and quiet to herself. Ah, Orlais. Wardrobe. I guess I can wear anything for this last little bit. That's nice. Get back my fancy sleeves. I guess we should wear something befitting the end game. Let's run with this for a bit. Try not to get any blood on it. Alright, that's just my storage. Iron Bull. Thank you for sending the chargers to assist in dealing with the demons attacking Montfort. Their assistance was most appreciated and many lives were saved. The Iron Bull and his chargers have prevented another civil war from sweeping across Orlais with their efforts in Perendale. The Iron Bull in particular defeated the would-be usurper in combat. We must protest the actions of the Bull's chargers in South Reach. While the presence of demons and Templars corrupted by red lyrium is undisputed, the necessity of your dwarven miner collapsing the better part of a mountain on the enemy forces was hardly necessary. The Bull's chargers were of great assistance in driving back the demons that attacked the shores of Lake Calenhad. The elf who calls herself Dalish was particularly helpful, and I look forward to her promised explanation of how Dalish archery techniques can create walls of ice or dispel magical barriers. I, too, deeply look forward to that. Glad to see Bull and the Chargers have been up to all good. Helping out the good folks. Varric. Greetings and salutations. Salutations from beautiful Kirkwall. The sun is shining, the sea birds are going caw-caw, and almost nothing in Hightown has fallen into a sinkhole and ended up in the sewers in over a month. The red lyrium cleanup in the gallows is going better than expected. Nobody misses having Meredith fused to the flagstone, early glaring at everyone. The city guard celebrated finally getting her out of there by holding a completely impromptu parade. Several Lowtown residents composed a song on the spot, with lyrics to the effect of "Thank the Maker, the crazy cursed Templar is gone," which was remarkably catchy, despite, or maybe because of the fact that it was mostly just swearing in tune. Even with all of this stellar progress, it looks like I'm stuck here. Channels in the harbor were completely changed by falling debris a few years back, which led to a lot of ships getting wrecked, coming and going, which only made things worse. To top it all off, I gave the Inquisitor the key to the harbor, and that has also caused several ships to well, maybe not yet. And then we had rifts open, and weird glowing fade rocks appeared out there. Incidentally, thanks for closing the rifts. Now the only hope for repairing the harbor is to send guys with pickaxes to clear the rocks. Ever try to hire miners who are also divers, Inquisitor? There aren't many, and even fewer are happy mining glowing shit from the fade. Now this is going to take a lot of my coin to fix. Stop by the city sometime, huh? We'll get in a game of Wicked Grace. Please. This Viscount shit is boring me to death. Varric. That is my favorite one. Dear Varric, doing his best. Ask a question in the chat. Are you warming up for recording? You've been quite enthused in your readings. I am. I'm trying to break that sort of smoky quality I have going on here. Break past it. So I'm trying to warm up the old pipes. I fear, this is Vivian, I fear I shall have no opportunity to meet with you prior to the Exalted Council at Hallamshire. The colleges and fraternities of enchanters are holding yet another round of elections in a few months, and I must be present to organize everything, or the Equitarians and the Lucrocians will inevitably get drawn into the most passive-aggressive arguments over the number of ballot boxes and the arrangements of voting cards you can possibly imagine. On the last two occasions, when I could not be spared from my duties at the Imperial Court, the isolationists sealed themselves inside the debating area with ice walls in protest over some insult from a libertarian senior enchanter from Cumberland. I must, of course, convey the continuing approbation of the Orlesian Court, though I have no doubt dear Duke Cyril has already bored you to death with the Council of Heralds' compliments by now. Cordially, Vivian. Cullen. Ooh, geez, was that me? Speaking of warming up the pipes, apparently I have an ostrich in there. Cullen. Word has spread from Denerim about the summit the Inquisition will attend. The news is half rumors, but with the representatives they say are going, it's clearly serious, and the details are probably not something you can put down in a letter. I will, however, look forward to more glowing descriptions about how much you love Orlesian parties. Branson's here. His son insists I add "Hello, Cull" to this letter. He also insists it be "hello" and not "hello." Your nephew is stubborn. How very familiar. Love, Mia. I'm being called on my cellular telephone. I'm not sure if you can hear the vibration. It's not important. Cassandra. I am writing to you from the Hunter Horn Mountains. I was successful in tracking down Seeker Emery. She was more shocked than most to hear of Lord Seeker Lucius's betrayal, as he was her mentor when she was an initiate. But she is eager to help rebuild, and she has heard of a few other Seekers who might have been sent to Ravain. I still do not know how many of us yet remain, how many Lucius killed, but I know that we are recovering, and I know that we will be better this time. I confess I look forward to returning to Orlais next month. Once I would have thought that impossible. Orlais was little more than the land of frustrating politics, excessive ornamentation, and responsibilities I did not want. But now that friends wait for me there, well, it's almost a home, Cassandra. Yeah, friends who are gonna play pranks on you about a possible proposal. Well, this is interesting. Rotate the painting? Huh. I don't know how many of those there might be hanging around, but something to keep an eye out for. More dog treats. We'll have to take another stop by the dog treat donation bin there. Chapter 14. I feel like we saw 13. So we're jumping back. The late Magistrate Dunwald's butler blinked as Donin Branokovic barged into the foyer. "Get Lady Mariel, now!" He headed straight to the parlor, where the magistrate's collection was displayed. Wrapped in a black shawl, Marielle sauntered into the room and poured herself a glass of sherry. Oh, no, leaned against one of the glass cases. "Guardsman! What a pleasant surprise!" "Where's Jevlon?" Her smile faltered. "Why do you think I would know? He's your partner." Donin held up the note. "Your perfume, Lady Mariel." He dropped it on the display case beside her. "What were you doing in the guard barracks?" "I did not leave that note," she said with measured calm, "and I don't have your partner." "But you were in the barracks." He stepped away to examine a display. "You told me Wagner wanted to buy the magistrate's entire collection, but he said he was only interested in one blade." He opened the case. "And I think it was never in Seamus's collection. I think it was the sword meant to go right here." He pointed to the empty, velvet-lined box. "I looked in the Viscount's records, and you've only been married to Magistrate Dunwald for about 3 weeks. You tell me who you're working for and where my partner is, and I'll see if we can't get you a deal with the Viscount's office." "The Chantry." Mariel closed the door quietly. "They sent me to Kirkwall a few months ago when rumors of the sword began to surface." She examined the note. "I don't have Jevlon. This was already on his bunk when I went to find both of you." Donin didn't hide his skepticism. "You're innocent, but you didn't report him missing to any of the guards." "Someone took him from the barracks, Sarah, with no one the wiser. That doesn't seem strange to you?" She looked him in the eye. "Have you ever heard of the Executors? They're a myth. Yes, a myth that kills," she sighed. "The Executors have your partner, and I think they have someone inside the city guard. How else could they have gotten Jevlon out of the keep without being seen?" Donnan watched her fidget with her shawl. "Why were you in the barracks?" I suspected the Executors had an inside man," she shrugged. "How else could they have gotten poor Comte de Favre to open the door to his killer? Since he arranged the sword's purchase for Seamus, he'd been hiding in his own home. The only people he'd seen were Seamus and you." There's like a bottle above me there. That's weird. How would I get up there? Huh. Something to keep in mind. I'm not sure how you would get the height necessary, but no, take a look at it. I could get up there, but then I don't think that would get me here necessarily.
Of course.
How do they expect you to do that? Alright, let's check inside this building here. Here's Cole, in fact.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Did you know that a merchant in the courtyard is selling gemstones the same color as your eyes?
What an odd thing to say. I must see this for myself.
Thank you, Cole. He was beginning to bore me so. Good to see you.
I appreciate the help getting him elsewhere.
I still don't understand Orlesians and their masks, but it makes him happy. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
And I needed birds.
Oh, Cole, good day. I didn't see you there.
But I saw you, as lovely as your songs.
Oh, that makes me so happy to see.
I'm pleased for both of you.
The world has ample
Doing
pain,
human
Inquisitor.
things, Cole.
The kindness found
Good for
in
you.
Cole is rare indeed.
Her songs bring happiness to those who hear, and I can make her happy in return.
Well then, carry on.
Oh, now she's singing with Cole. This is the best possible end.
Hello.
Oh, I sprang her lute into existence there. Accidentally, by interrupting. Alright, there's Krem, fantastic. Sarah. All of our dear, dear friends. Let's read this. Gilded Horns drink menu. The Golden Nug. An effervescent white Seleny wine with a dash of West Hill brandy and a splash of pomegranate juice, muddled with raspberries and a sprig of royal elf fruit. Or the Hissing Drake, a bold mix of cinnamon-infused whiskey, dark Lomelian rum, and Herol's Lava Burst. Not for the faint of stomach or heart. A benediction. Prophet's Laurel Gin, served with a wedge of lime, and just a thimble of golden scythe. Emerald Valley, made with a spirit distilled by Chantry sisters in Leeds from over 70 herbs and flowers. Mention over 13 secret spices, topped by egg white foam and dusted with nutmeg. A night of shame. Oh, we'll wait till Dorian arrives for that. Our sweetest Antivan port with a dash of chocolate bitters and a twist of orange, served in a flute of chilled Serault glass. The Randy Dowager. rumored to have been concocted by the editor of Orlay's most scandalous periodical herself, a tall glass of abyssal peach liquor and fresh cream garnished with sugared rose petals and served on a silk handkerchief with a scandalous rhyming couplet inked on it by the bartender. I know what I'm ordering. Sarah, how many have you had already? Show me the couplets.
Inquisitor Herald, glad to be back for whatever it is this lot have shoved up their sleeves. Just right up in there.
That's it? It's been some time.
Well, we don't know what's there to go on about. It's Inquisition business, innit? That's all we are. Maybe sort out how they want to mess with us. Then there'll be something to talk about. Maybe sort out how they want to mess with us. Then there'll be something to talk about.
Alright, so Sarah wants to know what the whole deal is here. What's the future of the Inquisition? Before she has much to say. Sarah's past and now things. Lost another book. Stop leaving them places. Below are journal entries by Sarah. Also several sketches of Skyhold with impeccable cross-hatching. Moving again. Stuff. More things. People things. Too many Val somethings. Name less stupid Orlays. Last Jenny checked in. Wasn't worried. A drawing of a gloved fist holding an odd symbol, smashing against the face of a chevalier. The symbol is red and smells of strawberry. Traveling again and again. Been here before. Yeah, we're everywhere. Back to the Winter Palace. Never good. Pack bees. Bet Varric we're in trouble. Scratched out. Varric won't take a sucker bet. In for 10 with Cullen. Everyone looks old and tired and fat. Oh, thank you, I'm right here. Find who shrunk my Skyhold clothes. Scratched out. Piss! Don't say the Inquisitor's hand looks bad. Don't say the Inquisitor's hand looks bad. It looks very bad. Is Whittle even here? Why do I go where there's no Whittle? A drawing of Sarah and Dagna, silhouetted by an explosion, bees, and exploding bees. Chargers in the palace. No one will be sleeping. Rainier hugs harder than Blackwall. Still beardy. Josie is best here. Cassandra needs to punch something or she'll explode. It's a very good observation. Everyone? Oh, they'll never call in everyone. Leliana knows something. Knew it. Inquisition is in trouble. Iron Bull, are you tending? How's things? Let me catch up with Krem. Krem? Oh, can I not catch up with Krem? Ah, okay. I'm sorry, Krem.
Your Worship, I'm glad you're here.
Oh, good.
Listen, I need you to keep
a little bit of tremory.
While we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
Whatever you need, Krem.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
Not half as good as it is to see you, Iron Bull, I assure you of that. These are all like, oh, I'm distracting you. Hello, you know that there might be a change in the lyrium supply lines, and I love Ferelden politics. Okay, we'll try to keep it going.
It's fascinating to see the remnants of Syrian culture here. Most of it was deliberately erased during Orlesian unification, under the reign of Mafarath's son, Isarath.
Uh-huh.
Can you believe it? Oh wait, Iron Bull, there's more. I love Ferelden politics.
Ferelden has its own names for lords. The country is divided into Ternirs, governed by Terns. Inside those are cities and Arlings, ruled by Arls. And then there's the Benorn. It's a large area of countryside, ruled by multiple bands.
This is like the first time I've gotten to speak to him in 2 years, and I'm just boring him to tears. But it's all for a good cause.
It's good to see that the Veil has largely healed.
Keep it down back there.
Most of the major rifts are closed. You might think otherwise, but the Veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade.
You're not helping at all. And one more.
Do you think news of the Exalted Council could affect the lyrium shipments from Orzammar?
Maybe.
Now it's stuck in the doorway. Oh, come on. I just need one more.
I'm sorry. I can't do this.
Sure you can. They must have that thing almost across the room by now, right?
Oh, he knew the entire time.
Ben Hasrap. Remember?
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief.
Oh, you guys. You got me.
Oh, what a gentleman. Iron Bull, you have a heart of gold and a brand new dragon skull. Happy birthday, my friend.
Hey, boss.
All right. Does seem to be a layer up there. I'm not sure how to get to. Must just be the underside where we started, is all. Yeah. Not sure if there's any point in jumping across one of these balconies and trying to get to this trellis. That is so weird. Let's try from up above. Hello again, Josephine. It's like I don't really see this ending well. Oh. Well, I got to here. That's something. Ah, and then you fall through those two. For some reason, I expected that to be solid, but that was foolish. That must be how you're supposed to do it, I guess. It didn't seem to hurt me. Let's try that again. I'd love to get a secret bottle, if at all possible.
How's it been? All's well, it seems.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Try not to slip. And then I don't know if it would be better to walk across here and then go down. Eeh. It's not good to walk across. Those really aren't thick enough. One more try here. So sorry for the delay. Delay in humorous conversation. Maybe. This is the physical portion.
It is good to see you.
Alright. All the way across. And then get onto that one without making me sad. And then down. Nope. Not that far down. Down the line, I meant. And loot. Bottled cologne. A slim bottle of Heartland Lodge cologne. It smells not unpleasantly of autumn leaves, loamy earth, and wood smoke. What is that for? Iron Bull, can I test this on you? I need someone with a big, warm chest area. Interesting. I have no idea what that's for, but hooray! We made it. Okay, who am I still missing here? We got Cole, we got Iron Bowl, Sarah. That's Josephine up there. It was Cassandra, Blackwall. I think we got everybody. Varric here. You make sure you can't go out this door. Good, good. Alright, so we'll check by the ambassadors a little more freely now that we know the other side has been taken care of. Let's drop off these bones, too. Here you are, my growing boys. That's the stuff. Look at that basket. Ah. Alright. Who is this? Vivian, holding court.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial
You're not going to
Garden
pluck my
Spa,
brows,
of
are you?
course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
Hey, I do work hard, don't I?
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Of course it is, darling. That's the only kind I have.
It must be fantastic. I thought of it.
What are the cheese wheels
Those
for?
little wheels of cheese. Oh my
It
gosh.
pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
That makes no sense at all. I love
Did
it.
you hear something?
What are you doing back there,
Relax,
Sarah?
darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. No doubt this peace conference is boring you to death. I can hardly blame you. So much hot air.
All right. How have you been?
You must be keeping very busy.
Someone has to keep the mess that's been made of Thaddeus's institutions of magic from flying apart. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
Those cheese wheels really did it for me, yeah.
Happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
Can I go back and fix this now that Sarah's made it wonky? For extra strength! Fantastic. Alright. Thank you for spa day, Vivian. That was lovely. I'll have visions of cheese wheels a-dancing in my head for days. The nobles of Hightown like to imagine that petty crime can only happen in the dank shadows of Darktown, or maybe the crooked alleyways of Lowtown between the alienage and the poorest neighborhoods. Their lofty, ivy-walled avenues could never be the site of something as crude as a mugging or a simple assault. Donnan didn't have much trouble finding an out-of-the-way alcove near the chantry to wait for the scarred Ander and the tattooed Hasind to catch up with him. The Ander came at him first, dropping down from the balcony above his head, while Donnan tried to back out of his reach. The Hasind loomed behind him, clamping an enormous vice-like hand on his shoulder. The Ander's follow-up punch just below his ribs knocked the air from his lungs. As the Hasind lifted him up by his coat, Donnan got back enough of his breath to say, "You work for Wagner? I need to give him a message." This earned him a skeptical look from the Ander, but the Hasind set his feet back on the ground. "Tell him I have his sword. He can meet me in the Keys at midnight to settle on the price." For a long, nervous moment, Donnan watched a variety of expressions pass over the Ander's scarred, grayish face before the man nodded. Another long moment, and both Ander and Hasind walked away, leaving him alone in the alcove. With the sun just setting, there was only one place left that Donnan needed to go. The frickin' hospital! Please take me there. The tavern. in the center of Lowtown sat in its own tiny moat of spilled ale, vomit, and the sea-water the owner flung at the walls in a half-hearted attempt to scour the seagull crap from the building. Donnan, like nearly every guardsman who drank at the Hanged Man, walked through the door to a frantic chorus of, "Put it away, hurry!" He tried not to smile, and completely succeeded when the brooding, white-haired elven bartender greeted him with a murderous glower. "Guardsman." Donnan placed a handful of copper coins on the bar. "Keep the ale coming, Ferris. I've got some time to kill." Yummy. It's gonna be a good night. All right. Don't suppose my spa treatment is over just yet. Not until I've had time in the slippy pool. The pool of slipping back and forth. This is how I became a hockey championship. All right, getting out of here. So is there anyone else I'm forgetting? We spoke to Josephine and Cullen. I don't think we've seen Leliana anywhere. But otherwise we've spoken to Cole, Sarah, Blackwall, Vivian, Varric, Iron Bull, etc. I think we're getting close. We're in danger. I found a magical clown. Chapter 11. The Café d'Or perched atop a hill in the Orlesian district of Hightown, with a view of the entire city, so the wealthy patrons could keep an eye on the peasants toiling below as they play their rounds of Gwent. Wait, where are we? Lady Muriel studied the room across the rim of her cup. A few nobles sat at the delicate little tables, sipping tea from Rivain and whispering amongst themselves about the latest maneuvers in the grand game 1,000 leagues away. "What's this lead you have for me?" Donnan broke the silence, acutely aware that he stank of sweat and fish from the docks, and was wearing a ripped, blood-stained coat in the most high-class cafe in Kirkwall. "We're being followed, guardsman." The lady's voice was low. From her tone, she might have been discussing the weather. "The two gentlemen in the corner by the door." Donnan picked up his teacup and gestured with it as if making a point, while he turned slightly in his chair to look. Subtle. The men were finely dressed, but almost as out of place as he was. A large, sickly, pale Ander with a face full of scars, and a tattooed Hasind. I feel like we've seen these gentlemen before, with a stone dagger at his belt. "A Hasind in a doublet? That's one for the history books," Donnan murmured. Lady Muriel favoured him with a half-smile. "Last night a man came by the estate. He said he wanted to buy Seamus's collection. All of it." Donnan sat up straighter. "The swords?" "He said his name was Wagner." She sipped delicately at her tea. "He gave me an address in Lowtown in case I change my mind. Those two have been shadowing me ever since." We know how that turns out. Alright, so somebody's out here teleporting. That can't be a good thing. Is this still Vivian? Likely, yes. So where is Josephine, say? Maybe she's just part of the main cutscene here? That's 2 more to drop off at the dog as well. I don't think I want to go too much further there. Chapter 18. The rain stopped with a suddenness that suggested some enterprising footpad from the coterie had climbed up to shank the clouds. The fog drifted off to haunt a better part of the wounded coast, and as Donnan reached the Chantry courtyard, the clouds parted to let a sliver of moonlight shine on the rain-swept flagstones. I need more air. He stopped to catch his breath and tighten the torn-off coat sleeve he'd used as a bandage. The bleeding was slowing, which meant either the wound in his side wasn't that deep, or he was running out of blood to lose. Trying not to dwell on the latter, he pushed open the chantry doors. At this maker-forsaken hour, the chantry was lit only by the eternal flame at Andraste's feet. A single soul occupied the space, lighting a candle for the dead. She rose as Donnan staggered into the firelight. "Guardsman!" Lady Mariel rushed to help him into one of the pews. "Might want to wake up one of the healers," he managed, a pained smile. "I wasn't sure you'd be here." "Neither was I. Your message was a little vague." Mariel tried to examine his makeshift bandage, but Donnan waved her away. "I'm too ashamed. I'm no doctor. It was sloppy work." He pointed toward the golden statue of Andraste. "I had a friend deliver something for you, under the altar." Mariel cast him a skeptical look, but she climbed the dais and returned with a small oilcloth bundle. She picked apart the wrapping's knot and peered down at the rusty blade inside, specks of dried blood still clinging to the pitted guard. "The sword of Hessarian," she breathed, almost a prayer. "You can get it to the Divine?" Donnan asked. She wiped at her eyes. "I'll take it to her myself. What do you want in return?" Donnan struggled to his feet. "Oh, just put in a good word for me with the Maker, your ladyship. You never know when I might need it." And he walked away, leaving her standing in the firelight with history in her hands. Seeing that question in the chat there, have I ever played Lost Odyssey? I believe so, yeah, like a JRPG sort of thing, 360 era. I think I played that and Blue Dragon, I want to call it, back in the day. Some time ago. I remember liking it quite a bit. Another one of these spy glasses. Still not sure if there's something hidden in there, like an auriculum thing, or whatever those are called. One of those skull spy glasses. Huh. Interesting that there's still a little leftover from the rift, haunting the sky even after 2 years. Not seeing anything important here, but it's strange that there's 2 of them. It is just nice to peek around. Doesn't have to be anything special. Let's drop these off just in case. Maybe that's all. What did you bring me back? Why are you covered in bugs? Why is Cullen covered in bugs now? Cudgel of the Gold and Ebon Queen. That is amazing. Probably a bee mace. Chance to inflict bees on target. So this is like Sarah's ideal weapon. I love it. Thanks, buddy. So if you get all those special dog treats in, he brings you a rare novelty weapon. I love it. Let's save it just in case here. Okay. I think we can now, since I'm not seeing any other party members, Leliana is my biggest concern. I'm assuming she's just part of the main event here. So let's go talk to these ambassadors and move along. This fountain was erected in commemoration of the end of the Civil War and the slaying of Corypheus by the blessed herald of Andraste, Inquisitor Meresh Adar, in the 42nd year of the Dragon Age. Let the song of its water be as laughter, let the cool of its stone be as memories gone. So lovely. Able to see the farmland and the windmills in the distance. Steal from the local fountains. Belly rub the dog, you know, all the necessities. There's Dorian. My sweet summer cherub, it's so nice to see you. Come back around to Dorian there. Liliana, perfect, here we are. These are the last two I was worried about. A diverse catalogue of treasures. This booklet is filled with woodcuts of strange trinkets, complicated-looking devices, and specialty items. All right. Maybe that has rare schematics in it, I'm not sure. A dispatch from the Crown of Ferelden to our honored friend Aurel Tegan. Thank you for attending this exalted council. We trust you implicitly with Ferelden's wishes and to fight for the security of our borders. Messengers will be dispatched daily so that you are not cut off from us as you undertake this duty. Maker be with you, King Alistair and Queen Honora of Ferelden. A postscript has been scribbled faintly at the bottom of the page. Good luck, Uncle. If there's anyone I'd rather have there than me, it's you. Or anyone else, really, but thanks for braving the lion. Alright, so let's cut into this conversation first.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course not, Inquisitor. I was catching up with Redcliffe's Arl. He's here to represent Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
And you? How's your cliff? Still red?
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
A moment.
I had hoped to steal a moment of the Divine's time.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Many are frightened of the Inquisition's power, but I will do all I can to allay their fears.
The robes suit you, Liliana.
Is there anything I can do to make your job easier?
Explore the grounds. Let yourself be seen. The delegates need to put a face to the legend. I have much to do, but let me say this. I may no longer be your spy master, but I am always here if you require.
Well,
I'm
that's
glad
why
you
I
finally
wanted you in
arrived,
that
Inquisitor.
position.
The Crown's
Liliana, my
anxious
dearest
for news.
friend.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
That's fair, yeah.
The Inquisition has grown. I can see how its presence might cause concern.
Then you understand why we must demand a reduction of your military forces. A power without allegiance to either Ferelden or Orlais. Even I see neither of our
Kinda
countries
nice,
can lay
right?
at rest. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
Oh, you're not part of either of our teams that we established several centuries ago that you were born into without having any ability to change or any say in the matter. So you go ahead and don't disrupt our teams. You can't just make another one. Fair enough, I guess. This unsigned note is creased, as if it had been secreted away in someone's pocket. How rude. Dearest Jay, I agree it is surprising that the Fereldans come as equals, but the Exalted Council is in the heart of southern Orlais, and cannot be lost on our neighbors. Hey, we're all friends here, Orlais. Let's not play thumbsies-nosies.
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and
He
collar.
is looking... Love the
But you'll
outfit,
have to
buddy.
Excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet.
Can I borrow it?
Inquisitor, how long has it been?
A splash of green in there? My goodness.
It's good to see you, my friend.
Oh, good to see you. Now, about you getting naked. No, I just mean so that I can have your... How do I explain?
I hope all's well.
It's everything I expected. We've been spared the burden of surprise. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way.
But the best ambassador.
A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavus is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Do I just snap, or you gonna give me a bell I can use?
Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
That's good to hear.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is the good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
That's a very respectable statement, and I appreciate that. You'll have time to betray me later, but for now, wink wink. So begin the Exalted Council. I still have that optional thing there. I'm not sure if there's more I need to catch up on, and then that will go away, would be my thought. I would like to ensure it's gone, if at all possible. A lacquered box containing 5 pots of blush, 3 jars of lipstick, a small but sturdy hairbrush, and dozens of brightly jeweled hairpins and ribbons. A note affixed to the inside of the lid reads, "A few supplies for emergencies, my petite. Love, Mama." Well, it's mine now, Mama. And I'm gonna look fabulous. So let's see if anyone seems to have obviously moved position or seems to have something new to say. And then we'll go back to the main building, I guess. Seems to be the idea. There's more people up here now. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. Are you okay, sir? A broken mask. Pieces of a broken mask found inside a velvet bag. What's left of the mask is covered in green jewels and eagle feathers. A scrap of paper inside reads, "Try again." Huh. I need to look around for more, wonky picture frames, too. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 more.
Darling, what can I do for you?
Alright, nothing with Vivian. However, these 2 seem to be likely Justinia and Dorian in new positions. Let's see if they have anything for me.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
There's really no need. What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the
Somebody get me a
Imperium
glass.
doesn't deserve you, or want you. It may even kill you, but we'll miss you, if it counts.
You may die, but we'll miss you.
And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Toma never wanted anything. I swear.
How much did you have, Iron Bull? Are you Doc Browning? What's going on? So, tell me the bad news, Big D.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. for good this time.
You know I'll miss you.
Naturally. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the magisterium. I didn't even see him when I was home. I had no idea he would leave me everything. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, my friend. I won't be entirely without support. Mayveris has gathered other magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
Oh, it sounds like it. It sounds fun. Golly, I'm gonna miss you. I hope we meet again in Tevinter. I'll try to come visit you. I'll try to come. I'll try to come visit.
I wish you safe travels, and the best of luck.
Oh, I'll need it, thank you. Magisters are tricksy bastards. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head...
So we can send
or you're
selfies?
overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... Magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are my dearest friend.
Magic.
Perhaps my only friend. That will never change, no matter where we are. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back.
Deal. Bring it. All right. So this is our last hurrah with dear Dorian. And he will be heading back to embrace responsibility in his homeland.
Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor.
The only thing that makes me feel slightly better about that parting... So sorry. The only thing that makes me feel better about that parting is that supposedly Dragon Age 4 takes place primarily in Tevinter. And I would be shocked if Dorian Pavis didn't play a central role in that. Leliana, here's her corner of the world. See if she has anything new.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
There are 17 golden lions. I've just gone through it. No, that's a guess. I don't know.
And that makes you sad.
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I see are hands rubbed raw to make gold gleam, tears shed in the night over silk embroidery. Others overlook them and forget their pain, but I am divine and I cannot be blind. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
Have we not made enough allies?
If friends were easily made and kept, we wouldn't need diplomacy. Our allies can be cordial to our faces and still dread the future. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised.
I just asked people to wear pants. That's
Inquisition's
literally the
time
only
is
change I
coming
made.
to an end.
If y'all have such a problem with just wearing pants when we're in public, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. You can still be naked in private. You can still be naked at a friend's house if they allow it. It's not like I'm controlling your whole life. I just ask that when you're in public spaces or places owned by the Inquisition, that you just wear some pants. Just have the common... and now everyone's up in arms. So, Leliana, He's saying the Inquisition's time is coming to an end, and I can certainly agree with that statement. We are still needed, but I agree.
The Inquisition has done enough. More than enough. Maybe it's time for us to lay down our swords and go home.
We set out to restore peace, and now peace is upon us. Some things can only be accomplished in shadow, without the trappings of power and the attention they bring. But whatever you decide, I will be honored to stand beside you.
Alright, that has taken care of our optional quest objective there, and that is fantastic. So, the only thing left to do now is to begin the Exalted Council. I don't know if I should stop it here, if this is a better cliffhanger, or if I should, like, start the Exalted Council and we can see the first cutscene. You know, why are we really here? What is this all about? We've heard a lot of rumors now. Everyone has set their chess pieces upon the board, but what is the game we're about to play? So I would kind of like to step in and see the first cutscene, but then it's going to be a much more jarring exit, because I do have to move along and use my smoky, smooth, velvety voice that's now arrived, finally, for other things. So I'm running out of time, and this is a pretty good stopping point before we have the big reveal. However, I'm desperately sorry to leave you hanging there. This is, we're not quite into the meat of the matter yet, and I'm very, very excited to be. But it was lovely spending this session just catching up with everyone and seeing what happened in the intervening 2 years. And we have such a lovely area to explore here, too. I've enjoyed this time greatly. So, we'll be back to begin the Exalted Council proper. Let me save it in front of the palatial entrance here. And I cannot wait. It should be maybe one more long session, maybe 2 more long sessions, and we'll have this with a very lovely bow all tied up and done. Thank you again for your patience. I adore you all, and I adore Dragon Age, and we'll be back to continue, hopefully oiling up Iron Bull's chest. Let's just be honest about it. Next session, I will wave at you from the back with my spiky horns, and see you very soon. Smooch now.